So have a quick look at the controller and how the best way to operate these puppets. So they're still stuck with this upright type controller, and it's very similar to the old one. So we've got this string at the back here which runs to the back of the pelvis, so that's for bending over. So if you wanted to bend the puppet over, you'd just tip the controller like that, or you can grab it with your finger to help. So if I show you, if we just tip the controller, we'll start to get a little bend. If you want a little bit more, you'd grab the string and you can then bend it over. So what I was doing there was tipping first, and then secondly getting extra movement by just holding the string to get a little bit more movement on the bow there. The shoulder strings we've got here run up to this point at the bottom here. So this is where we take the weight of the puppet through the shoulders to the bottom there. So again, if you want to get real nice mobility in the head, you can make sure this shoulder string is tense. Again, if you want to, for extra, you can give it a bit more tension with your fingers, and that allows you then to move the head around a lot more. So again, making sure this shoulder string is tense, and if you need a little bit more, you can just grab with this, or perhaps with your finger there. So you'd hold the controller with your dominant hand. I'm holding it here in my left just for this video, but actually I'd probably normally hold it with my right. Grip it under this bar here. So that bar does the legs. So we've got the two leg strings here for walking. So again, we're simply holding the controller up, making sure we've got tension on the shoulders, and then rocking that bar side to side to get the walking motion. Now Charlie Chaplin here has got a cane in his hand, so he's got that for his movement. Now the hamstrings run up to this point here, so we've got two separate strings. So the right and the left arm are manoeuvred by there. So as you're keeping it in your dominant hand, you can do the walking, and then you can use your other hand to control the arms by grabbing that string or both strings. The head movement is on these bars here, so this top bar here and here. So when you're getting the head movement, as I say, if you've got, providing you've got tension on this shoulder string here, then by moving this around, moving these 2 points is where you'll get your head movement from. So again, with making sure we've got slight tension on the shoulders, and we can make the puppet look around like so. And that was very simply just slight movements on the control like so. So these are much better than the puppets previously in terms of movement. So it's really just a case of now getting to grips with the weight of the puppet and the way that it moves. Because he's got a hat here, sometimes this hat will touch the shoulder strings there, so you've got to be a little bit careful of that. But when you're doing your walking, you want to take the weight of the puppet, and then as you step forwards, slightly lift the weight of the puppet up, and as he puts his foot down, slightly drop the weight of the puppet onto the floor. So then for the next step, up and down. I'm going to over exaggerate it here, up and down, up and down. So as you're stepping with your rocker bar here, so you would, as the foot lifts, you would lift the control, take the weight, slightly rotate the leg bar, drop it down on the step, take the weight again for your next step, and down. So as you're walking, you're going to mirror the walk with a slight up and down bob like so. It just helps to take the weight and distribute it in the right place. Otherwise, if you keep it static, you will have to sort of float him across the ground, So if I don't move the weight up, so if I don't move the weight up and down, then he will just have to sort of float across the ground and you wouldn't actually be stepping. You need to take the weight of the puppet up in order to step.